Hi, so what I have here is the simple drain, and I'm going to give you an up-close view of this rubberized tube here. And the reason for that is I myself wanted to know whether this will fit my needs, and I wasn't quite sure of, even with some of the videos on the internet, I wanted to get an up-close view just to see, well, does it fit my situation? Can I use it for my situation? So hopefully if I zoom in and show you how flexible it is and how long it is and some of the accessories that it comes with up close, that you could determine that for yourself, just like I struggled to determine that. It turns out that this will probably fit my needs, but hopefully that will help your situation also. So just going through the box really quickly, this works with as a P-trap, S-trap, and a extension here. So it'll come with a clamp. It'll come with a plastic clamp for the P-trap, S-trap scenario, and it also comes with kind of those threaded screw caps, which supports a 1.5 and 1.25 thread scenario. And it is supposedly, in the side here, it says it's drain product resistant, so hopefully you could use it with Drano or any of the unclogging drain sort of products. It does say, put 1 cup bleach and 1 gallon of water mix. And it does come with a cleaning clamp, which clamps it so that you could feed the draining products into it. On the other hand, it also says you can unclog it simply by squeezing the rubber because it is flexible. And just really quickly here, showing you, basically, the steps. And in the back here, basically you kind of measure it. There's peaks and valleys here. You're gonna cut the indentation and put on the screw cap and then turn it in and then clamp the other side, and also shape whatever S-trap you need. So let me go ahead now and show you this up close. So it comes like this in this box, and it says on the box that it's 30 inches. I actually measured it with a ruler here, so I want to show you just the thickness of it so that you could see how thick it really is. I couldn't really tell from the videos. So this here, the thickness is about 1 3/4 inch. And hopefully you could see simply by me putting the ruler on here. Now the length of this, despite it saying it's 30 inches on the box, I found this to be basically 28 inches. And it does expand, so it expands an extra 5 inches, 5-6 inches. It's hard to measure because you are kind of like tugging and pulling on it. So just keep that in mind. It's not like it expands twice the length or even 50% of the length. This 28-inch tube expands an extra 5-6 inches. And on both sides here, so there's this particular opening, and let me show you the diameter of the opening. So this is kind of like an oversized disposal, sort of rubber thing where you kind of push it into the tube, and then it has a rubberized tight seal here. So just to show you, and of course this does expand. And so what I'm going to use it for is I have the sink tube, and I'm going to push it up here. So this kind of removes. I couldn't use this because this was too rigid, and it actually broke off when I try to put it into the P-trap. So what I'm going to do is actually unscrew this, and I'm actually gonna push this in and have it seal in like that, and then clamp it down in that area. So that's what I'm gonna do with this particular thing. And I did try out the fitting before this video, and it actually does work. So that was my case where, all right, this here was actually too rigid and I couldn't shape it the way I needed to, and it was actually leaking on the threads because it was pushing it, it was pushing it too much, and there was an air gap here. So this was not helpful for me. And this will be because it is flexible enough. So this here is kind of the diameter. Hopefully you could see. And this side is actually smaller. So this isn't a perfect circle, but hopefully it gives you, you know, it's like an inch, whereas this one is 1.25 inches. So for example, you know, this is an inch here, right here, and this is loose, but if I slip it here and I clamp it down, you could see, you know, this would actually fit. So this here is kind of like your standard bathroom sink type of pipe that it would fit through. Now, just to give you an up close of, you know, just how flexible it is. You know, so it's compression. So the other aspect is also how much compression, you know, because you are going to shape it like that depending on, you know, if you're using for an extension or an expansion. So this is fairly flexible, kind of like your vacuum tube, but it's not plastic, it's more rubber. And I'm going to squeeze it like this so you could see just how flexible it is. So this will expand more than 1.25 inch, for example. And I'm trying to twist it various ways so that you could have an idea, you know. So I'm gonna compress it, you know, pull it out. So it probably, if you're off by, you know, 3-4 inches, you could probably expand it and have it reach whatever you need it to reach. And keep in mind, I mentioned this was 28 inches, you know, unexpanded, and an extra 5-6 inches expanded. Now these are the accessories that it comes with, and let me pour it out into this box here. So one of the most important things is this cap here. So you could see the way this works is you push it in. So I'm going to push it in through this hole and put it into those valleys. So you see I'm squeezing this, I'm squeezing it. And you'll notice I put it into one of those valleys, and now I'm putting my finger in to expand it. And you can see how when you're screwing it tight, it compresses along these things. So it's compressing it. It's kind of like a rubber gasket. It becomes a rubber gasket. So you can see that's kind of like how that works. And I'm gonna, so definitely cut more than you have to, and then trim it after you've really measured it in place, instead of just cutting it exact, you know. So just taking it out, I'm just squeezing it like that so that it comes out of the hole. It does have this 1.25 inch adapter. So that 1.25 inch adapter, you kind of just screw this in like that, and you similarly, you know, push this in. You could see on the other side it's just very slight, you know, but at the same time you're really putting this in the grooves so that when you turn this in, you know, it compresses right on these grooves and uses it as a gasket. So that's how this works. This here is just the thing to shape, right? To shape the U right there, you know, sets it in place. So that's what it does, like that. And hopefully it is true that it could hold up against the drain products and not melt. And then this clamp is just a clamp. So this clamp, you know, it's just like your normal screwdriver clamps, except you're hand tightening this. This here, what this is for is when you are cleaning it with drainage products, you basically can clamp it down in the middle, you know, so that no water flows through. And then you pour the drainage products in, and you know, it'll clear it out. Though it says it's basically clog proof, because what you do is you kind of squeeze it. You know, you're trying to squeeze it, and you know, if there's a clog, but that's only if there's room to squeeze it. For my case, I'm going to cut it basically, you know, a good just 5 inches to do my connection into a P-trap. So I'm going to use this actually to connect my drain into an actual P-trap that is existing, which is a brass metal P-trap. And the sinks didn't quite align, so that is my use case, is that the sink didn't quite align. So I'm using this as a flexible tube to actually, you know, have it align, you know, just off by like a 1/2 inch or so. So my situation is going to be probably something like this, where, you know, it's, but again, it allows this flexibility, whereas this didn't. You know, this thing was so kind of inflexible that it started leaking either on this side or right on the threads. Alrighty, that's really all I had. I hope this gives you an idea of just, you know, what you can use this for, and just how flexible it is and stuff like that. And I hope this helps, and please subscribe down below, and I will have a link in the description area to this product. And thank you so much for watching.